All right. One thing I want to mention before we actually start our lesson today is just a quick review. When you see a number and a letter or a variable next to each other, what does that mean to do? Aiden? It means to multiply them. What if you see a bar? Divide. A bar means divide, like a fraction bar. That's what that stands for. Okay, so our question for today is how can we use multiplication and division to solve equations? Keith's scouting troop is planning a Pinewood Derby. How many of you have done a Pinewood Derby before? They're fun, aren't they, Sam? Yeah, fun stuff. You did? Congrats. So what we know is that these cars are sold by the case. And we know 4 cars come in a case. So if the Scoutmaster has 32 boys to buy for, what do we know to solve this problem? Well, we're asked to find the number of cases that this guy has to buy. Oh, very annoying beeping in my ear every time something moves. I wonder why that is. What information are we given? Well, we're given that there's 4 cars in a case, and we know there's 32 boys. So what operation do you think you're going to have to use to solve this problem, Emma? Okay, so we're going to have to take 32 times 4 to see how many cases we'll buy. Division. Which one? Now you've given me 2 answers. So yeah, we're going to need less than 32 cases because there's 32 boys. We would need more than 32. We will use, though, you're right, we're going to use division, but we're going to go backwards today, just like we did before. So we're going to use C, that means the number of cases, and we're going to look at what we need. We need to know how many 4s will fit into the number 32. So the top portion shows our 32, the bottom portion shows 4, and then the missing part, or the unknown. So when we say 4C equals 32, what does that actually mean? 4C means, well, 4 times a number that we don't know. 4 times a number that we don't know. So to solve this question, we want to get this letter C, we call it the variable, all by itself. All by itself. So to do that, we are going to, since it's 4 times C, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to divide by 4. 4 divided by 4 leaves us with how many? 1. So that way we have C all by itself. But remember our rule, what we do to one side, we have to also do to the other side. So it's kind of like I can cancel this out, and I'm left with C all by itself. Now 32 divided by 4 is how many? So there's our answer. Yeah. Fun is right. You have no idea how fun this is about to get, Cole. Okay, so now we have 24 times n equals 120. So what's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. So we can either draw a bar, or we could make a divide sign. Let's divide both sides by 24. If we divide this side by 24, we get 1. So that means n is now all by itself. Does anybody know 120 divided by 24 in your head? Think about it. What do you think, Darius? 5. He thinks 5. Would 24 times 5 give us 120? Yep, he's right. So n equals 5. There's our answer. 24 times 5 would give us 120. Just to check ourselves. Okay, now we have a divide sign. We want to get B all by itself. What's the opposite of dividing? Okay, so now we're going to multiply by 7 because that'll cancel it out. We're going to do the opposite. Divided by 7 times 7 cancels each other out. That means we have to do the same thing on this side. Now we have B by itself. Can anybody do that one in their head? Today you don't have to do it in your head, but If you can, that's great. Emma, do you know? 42 times 7? I'll write it off here because maybe that will help. Cole?
284.
Not 284. 294. So B equals 294. Certainly, do this work off to the side. Definitely. There will be some things today that you can do in your head because you know your basic facts, but there will be others that you'll have to do off to the side. Okay? Last one together before we grab our iPads. What's the opposite of dividing? Will? Times. So we want to do the opposite. We want to get y all by itself. So what's the opposite of this? Oops, I shouldn't have probably crossed that out. Alan. The opposite of this. Times what? Times 9. We do it to both sides. So now we cancel that out. So we have y by itself. Who can do that in their head? America? 108. She's right. Good job. Grab your iPads, open to a blank page, and let's do some together. Okay. Everybody needs to write this on their screen. 3m equals 63. Do the opposite of multiplying. 3m means 3 times m, so the opposite. I'll give you some time. Many of you are going to need to write this off to the side. Okay, what's the opposite? Alan? By? We're going to divide by 3 because that's the opposite of multiplying by 3. And we're going to do the same thing over here. So now we cancel that out. We have m equals what? Dathan? 21. Today's secret password is daffodil. When you hear it, please don't erase anything. If you already have, that's your one shot. Otherwise, you need to show it when I say the magic word. So nice and high, daffodil. 21. It's fine that you needed to go off to the side and do this. That's perfectly fine. Good work. Okay, we're moving on. Everybody write it down. Now, there is no difference between this problem and the last problem. It's just that this time our variable's on the right side of the equal sign, not the left side. It doesn't matter. Do the opposite of what's there. Good job, Emma. Here you go, Caden. Sarah, what's the opposite of what's here?
Divided by 17.
Okay, I won't even use the divide sign. I'll use this. Now, that cancels itself out. We're left with r equals what? Now, if you don't know, try a few things. How many 17s are in 85? Well, 17 times what is going to give us 85? I always think to myself, what number can I put right here that'll make a 5 right away? Natasha? It's 5. You're right. She's right. The answer is r equals 5. Daffodil. Good work. Moving on. Now, if you ever do come across one that you know you can do in your head, that's fine. I don't think this one you'll be able to do in your head, but maybe. Can I see it at least on your board? Just see the answer? Just really quick write it, so. Good job, Alexis. You're doing great. Alexis, 4 times 3 is 12, not 16. Oh, I would like, America, help me out. Tell me what to do.
Multiply 23.
First of all, let's get the C by itself. Since we divided by 3, we're going to multiply by 3 so that we can cancel this out. So I do the same thing over here. Now I'm left with C equals, what? 72. Good girl. Daffodil. Daffodil. It's one of the first flowers of spring, right?
I don't know why, but I like saying it because it reminds me of daffodil.
Yeah. Okay. We are going to solve for B. I bet every single one of you can do this in your head. Do the opposite of what's there. Kaylin, B equals what? Yes. The opposite is to times 7. That's the opposite of dividing by 7. So we have B equals 35. Good work. See, that was easy, right? This one, some of you, I bet, will be able to do this one in your head as well. Solving for J. 6J means 6 times J. Aiden. J equals 11, he says. Tell me what you did. What did you do to both sides?
Good morning. It's Tuesday, March 25th.
Did you multiply or divide?
Identify claim in the medical office with
No,
seniors. There are still a few of you that need to come and
you do the opposite of what's here. So the opposite of multiplying by 6 is?
there will be a high school student council meeting on Wednesday during lunch in Mrs. Albertson's room. Attention juniors,
There we go.
please bring your old history
Okay, let's pause for a second.
with Mr. Horton.
Solve for B. Solve for B. That fast? Natasha? 4 divided by 9 equals 36. If you're solving for B, that means you have to put that number that you have to put it right here. Right there. 4 divided by 9 does not give you 36. You guys, for those of you who think you can do it in your head, it may be a good idea. What's the opposite of this, dear? Yeah. So we're going to do times 9 times 9. I don't think you can do that in 1 second. Solve. Leaves B by itself. See what you did wrong, Natasha? Uh-huh. Who has the answer to that? Aaron P. Say it again. 15? 9 times 6 is 54. Oh, I didn't hear you. I don't think so. 27 plus 5. What's the answer? 324. 27 plus 5 is 32. There we go. That's all right. So B equals 324. Daffodil. That's okay. That's okay. Will? Did you have a question? Oh, I thought you had. Oh, that's all right. Okay, next one. I bet solving for F you may be able to do in your head. But if I call on you, I need you to tell me what you did to both sides. Darius, what did you do to both sides?